Hi there, yoga friends. I'm Jen. Thank you for joining me for another great yoga video. Today I'm going to take you through some nice activation for the core, as well as the back of the glutes and the hamstrings. So to begin, we're going to come sideways onto our mats, and we're going to move here right into laying on the back. And so what we want to do here is make this angle so that the heels are underneath the knees. And from here, we're going to draw our focus into the core. So if you've watched some earlier videos, you know that the best way to activate through the core here is to draw the navel towards the spine, a sense of these floating ribs drawing towards the hip crease, and then the hips moving across the navel. If you just lay here for a moment, the navel drawn back, the floating ribs draw towards the hips, and the hips moving in towards each other, you should feel this lovely activation coming. And when I tell you this activate through the core, this is the sensation that we're looking for. So go ahead and just hold that for just another breath or two here. And then we're going to release. Take your hands past your head, reach to the fingertips, maybe give your hips a little bit of a wiggle. And then we're going to come back into it. So take the hands back next to the hips. Draw the navel back, the hips move towards each other, the floating ribs down towards the hips. And we'll take the palms here to the floor. Now the first part of this sequence, what we're going to do is just lift the hips up and off the floor and make this straight line from the knees to the shoulders. Now we're going to hold this stretch and maintain the sensation of tightening through the core, a sense of the tailbone moving towards your heels. And the first step here, we'll wait into the left foot and just pick up the right heel. And notice how that starts to turn on here through the back of the glutes, the back of the right leg. And we'll take the right heel to the floor and lift the left heel up. Now we're just going to alternate another 2 more times on each side. We'll lower the left, raise the right, lower the right, raise the left, lower the left, and raise the right. Last one on this side. And then we'll lower the right and raise the left and hold. Lower the left, roll down through the spine, hands to the floor, and we're just going to drop our knees from right to left. So there we have it, just starting to warm up and heat through the back line of the body, turning on the abdominal center and even the pelvic floor. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to take our heels to touch. And the knees are pressing in towards each other. I want you to imagine that you've got like a feather or a $100 bill or something in between your knees, and you want to squeeze it in there and you don't want it to drop out. We'll draw the pelvic floor here up towards the navel center. Draw the navel center down to the spine, the hips draw towards each other, and those floating ribs move towards the hips. So you should feel the core activate here. Palms either side of the hips here, and as we press down evenly through the toes and the heels, we'll lift the hips up towards the ceiling. You might want to shuffle your shoulders a little bit closer down towards the hips here. And as we maintain this one today, we'll press into the left foot, and this time we're going to extend that right leg forward. And you want to keep your knees touching and that right hip lifting up towards the ceiling, and you should really feel that here through the left side of the body. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, raise that left heel. Take another 2 or 3 breaths. Keep your right hip lifting and the hips parallel. So there's a sense for that right hip to drop down. And then we'll bend that right knee, lower the heels, lower the spine, and again, just rock your weight here from left to right. So we're really working through that back line of the body. And we're going to take the left side, so again, heels together, Knees squeeze together, palms to the floor, activate through the core, lift the hips. Stay here, squeezing that $100 bill in between your knees. And when you're ready, you press down evenly through that right foot and extend the left leg forward, point the toes. Keep that left hip high. And if you want, you can raise the right heel. Take another 3 breaths here, maintaining the integrity through the core. And then on your third exhalation, lower that left leg, lower the heels, and lower the spine. So those types of exercises, you can build the length of time that you hold the isometric stretch as you go along, so you can increase the length of time. And so from here, we're just going to take the feet hip distance again. We want to have the ribs rolling down towards the hips moving in, the navel back. And this time we're going to raise that right knee. So you want the right knee here parallel to the hips. So we've got a straight line here down. Point your toes. Now as you exhale, we're going to keep that activation through your core. We're just going to tap that right toe tip forward. And as you inhale, bring it back. Exhale, tap the toe forward. Inhale, bring it back. This is one of my favorites. It doesn't look like a whole lot, but if you do it slowly and mindfully, you can really feel those muscles activate and a sense of strengthening through the core, which can help you get into some deeper yoga postures later down the road. So this is the last one. We'll bring the knee here back in line with the hip. Lower the right foot, and we're going to release just the tummy for a moment, give our bellies a break, and then we'll come back into that activation, drawing the hips together, the floating ribs down and the navel back. Pelvic floor moves to the navel center as well. We're going to pick up that left foot. Left knee comes in line with your left hip. Point your left toes. And then we're going to tap the left toes to the floor here using your stomach muscles, not your leg, to do the work, to do the lowering, and to do the raising. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, tap it forward. Just got 2 more like this. Take it forward, tap the floor. Inhale, bring it back. Last one, tap it down. And then bring it back in line. We'll lower that left foot here to the floor. Release the tension through the tummy and just drop the knees here from left to right. We'll take our knees here now, pointing up towards the ceiling, and we'll hug them into the chest. So from here, you have the option to just roll over to your right or your left and make your way to a seat. Or if you'd like to bring a bit of a spinal stretch here into it, we'll draw the navel back towards the spine, tuck the chin towards the sternum, and we're just going to rock the body weight back and forward, giving a nice massage for the spine until we come to a seat. Now this next posture is called Navasana, and we're going to do half Navasana and we're going to move into full Navasana. So it's really key here that we do keep this abdominal activation through the entire posture. We draw the navel back, a sense of lengthening up through the spine and drawing the shoulders here away from the ears. We take the hands here to begin just behind the thighs, and we'll raise one shin at a time towards the ceiling. And you want to have your toes pointing towards the ceiling. You want your heels here in line with your knees. The navel drawn back, the shoulders away from the ears, and of course a smile. And then you can release your hands if you want to stretch the fingertips forward. Squeeze your knees together, lift up through the heart. We'll just take a couple more breaths here. And you can choose to stay here, or if you're finding that this is difficult, you can use your hands behind your thighs to support you. And maybe taking the hands behind the thighs, you can start to straighten the legs and either maintain this or again, lengthen the fingertips towards that front edge of your mat. We'll lift up through the heart. We're going to hold this for another 5 breaths. And if it becomes too much for you, you can always take it back to the half Navasana with the knees bent. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and hold on to the backs of your legs. We're going to roll down here through the spine. Stretch the hands past the head. Lengthen through the body here. Stretch the right hand and the right foot away, and then the left side of the body. And then we'll bend those knees one more time. And we're going to come into a twist. So we'll keep the knees bent. We're going to drop both of the knees here. So feet hip distance. Drop both of the knees over to your right and pause. Keep your shoulders here firmly planted onto the floor. Maybe the palms up towards the ceiling. And we'll place that right foot here just on top of your left upper thigh. Take a couple of breaths. Start to slow the breath rate. Notice your heart rate. Lower that right heel to the floor. We'll take the knees here over to the left and just repeat that on the second side. So drop the knees down. And then when you're ready, place that left heel here on top of your right upper thigh. This one always feels really lovely for releasing the hips and the spine. Let's take another couple of breaths. Lower that left foot. Bring your knees back to center. We're going to roll over to the right or the left and make our way back to a seat. So there we go. Thank you, friends, for joining me again. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave me a comment. Let me know how you went, and I'll catch you next time around. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Namaste.